Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is Capnclyde Spoilers. We got D&D edition after the holiday weekend. Hope you had a good holiday. God bless America. Happy 4th of July and all that good shenanigans. As always, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, put some comments down below about what you think. Let's feed that YouTube algorithm to get this channel some views. And as always, there's a link in the description to the eBay store in case you want to buy any cards that you see on my box opening videos. With all that said, let's get right into it and look at new spoilers for D&D. So our first spoiler here is the Druid of the Moon Circle. So for a green and 2 colorless, you have 2/4. Human, Elf, Druid. That's a lot of creature types. Um, wow. As bear form, on your turn, he becomes a bear that is a 4/2 and loses all their creature types. So this is a great card. It has great attack, good defense. It's only a common though. Be great in draft. Doubt it's going to see any standard play, but pretty cool draft common or sealed. Next, we have check for traps. That's right. A black and a colorless. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an online card from it. Exile the card. If it's an instant card or a card with flash, they lose a life. Otherwise, you lose a life. So basically, it's agonizing remorse. Um, except you may make them lose a life depending on what card you take, and you can't get their graveyard. I think this is a pretty good card. It's gonna see a standard. It's gonna see a lot of standard plays. Basically, one more mana for a Thought Seize at one less life. It's just gonna be good. So moving on. The Hand of Vecna. So for 3 colorless, you have a legendary artifact now that says at the beginning of your combat, the equipped creature or creature you control named Vecna gets +X/+X till end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Very interesting. Now you may equip it by paying 1 life for each card in your hand, or you can pay 2 colorless. So 2 ways to equip it, which is kind of funny. If there's no cards in your hand, there's no pluses, so you just put it on anything for free. That's hilarious. Um, I like this a lot. This is pretty cool. It's gonna be great if you can, form Exodia. I mean Vecna, uh, the the all powerful monster. I don't know if that's gonna be a standard thing. This seems a bit much. Probably really cool in draft and great for commander. That's probably about as far as it's gonna go. So as we move on, next we have good old reliable plate armor. So the fighter's go-to is a white and 2 colorless for equipped creature gets +3/+3. It has ward 1, so not terrible. It has equip 3, which is not good either. But the ability to equip costs 1 less to activate for each other equipment you control. So we've already seen a card that's a white and a colorless that functions very much like a Stoneblade. And if there's an equipment deck to be had in standard, this is definitely going to be a part of it because it can be good. Now, obviously, it's going to be good in draft because +3/+3 plus ward on any creature is going to be a powerhouse. But that's probably about as far as it's going to go, unless somebody in Commander's really feeling froggy. Next, we have the Eyes of the Beholder. That's right, guys. You too can glare deeply into his eyes to get -11/-11 till any turn on any creature. So basically, for 6 mana, you kill anything, except something that has ward, unless you pay the extra, or hexproof. But anyway, so great removal spell. Not gonna see standard play, costs way too much. It's gonna be great for draft though, and maybe even a couple of these might float around commander just for giggles. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Moving on, we have good old Mordenkainen, and he's back, boys. Just like you knew it, you knew he was gonna be in there somewhere. So for 2 blue, 4 colorless, you get 5 loyalty. He has a +2, which takes him to 7. Ugh. But you get to draw 2 cards, put one card from your hand on the bottom. That's like a better brainstorm. That's just insanely powerful. Plus, you got a -2 here. It looks like that you create a blue dog illusion creature token that its power and toughness equal to twice the number of cards in your hand. But it's still a creature. It doesn't die even though it's an illusion if you target it. So it can protect itself as well. And for -10, exchange your hand and library, then shuffle. Um, Interesting. You get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size. I'm not sure how much that's going to play, but I'm sure it's going to be something. But just the first 2 guys, the +2 and the -2, is so powerful, especially in standard. Um, Sealed as well, definitely a commander card. It's going to be a powerhouse. That's probably about really as far as it's going to go. It's not going to see anything other than that, guys. But it is a card to look out for, as it can be broken. Next, we have the good old Eye of Vecna. So for 2 colorless, the Eye of Vecna comes into play. You get to draw a card and lose 2 life. Lucky you. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you may choose to pay 2 colorless. And if you do, you can draw a card and lose 2 life. So this is fine because you don't have to do it every turn, so it doesn't kill you. You only got to take the damage the first time it comes into play. But this is going to be a great multi-use card for many things, um, like aggro decks and standard that need that constant flow to draw cards. Because 2 or 4 life against a control deck to draw off 3 or 4 more cards may win you the game. In modern, possibly um, in the affinity deck to draw extra cards. Although I think there's better things you can use than this. But it always is an option. It's 2 mana, so it is cheap enough to make an impact. Um, Definitely gonna be good in draft. Commander probably gonna be a powerhouse. I think this card has lots of things it can do, and I think I would watch out for this one, guys. It might be actually worthwhile. Next, moving right along, we have Wild Shape. For a green, it's an instant. It says choose till the end of turn. A creature becomes power and toughness equal to this and becomes a creature type and gains the ability. So basically, for 1 green, you can turn a creature into a 1/1 turtle with hexproof, a 1/5 spider with reach, or a 3/3 elephant with trample. Now, notice it says target creature you control. So it only works on your creatures. And I don't know why you'd want to do this to your creatures unless you're trying to save them or um, I mean, you can save your creature by turning it into a turtle with hexproof, I guess. I don't know. I In draft maybe this could be a thing. Probably not gonna see standard play or anything else, honestly. So moving right along, we have the Monk of the Open Hand. Oh, and it's an elf monk at that, so it's logical. Whoa. Anyway, so for 1 white, you get a 1/1 that has Flurry of Blows. Whenever you cast a second spell each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on the monk. Be fine for draft. Probably be okay for standard, although with it only being the second spell, I don't see it being too much of a powerhouse. And I don't think it's going to be played in their formats. So, moving right along. We have the good old white dragon, guys. So, 2 white, 4 colorless for a 4/4. It has flying, and it has cold breath, which is when it enters the battlefield, tap target creature opponent controls. Creature has an untapped nurse controls next on tap step. That is normally a blue ability on a white card. Very interesting. Um, it's going to be great in draft, obviously. It's not going to see standard play. It costs way too much money, along with anything else, except for Commander, where these kind of cards like this with cool abilities that cost a lot and are on theme, i.e. Dragon, will probably find a home pretty quick. So, Commander, draft, looks like you boys are up. So, moving right along, we have True Polymorph. 2 blue and 4, target artifact or creature becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature. It's an instant. Um, This is interesting. I don't see it being a thing because 6 mana is a lot. And plus, once you change something, it doesn't change back according to this text on the card. And plus, you have to have targets. So I don't. I think this is like a bulk rare. I'm sure somebody in Commander can do some kind of shenanigans with this, and I'm sure that's probably where this card belongs. But that's probably the only place it's going to see play. So next here we have the good old Rust monster. How can we forget old Rusty Boy? So for red 2, you get a 2/1 with first strike. Sacrifice an artifact. He gets +2/+0. Not too shabby. Fine for draft. Probably won't see standard play. Costs too much along with anything else. Same goes for commander. But I will give this a flavor win on the correct use of the card. So good job on that. And this is definitely going to be a draft sealed / powerhouse probably. Next we have the Ray of Enfeeblement. So for 1 black, target creature gets -4/-1 till end of turn. If that creature is white, it gets -4/-4 instead. So this is going to be a draft powerhouse. It's going to save your creatures while killing theirs. It can literally kill a white creature. But I think that's probably the only place it's going to see play unless it's in some kind of weird sideboard for some reason, like maybe standards dominated by a white weenie deck. And this is the best way to answer it. So other than that, it's probably the only place it's going to see play. Next here we have the Divine Smite. So for a white and a colorless instant, uncommon target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls phases out. Very interesting. If that permanent is black, exile it instead. So this is really good. It deals with all kinds of black cards that are creatures and planeswalkers, which is a majority of the things to be scared of, honestly. Um, Probably going to be pretty good in draft, depending on what colors you're playing against. So it's going to be a great card to have in your pool. Um, in standard, it's going to be sideboard only, probably, but a powerful sideboard card at that. Could be a nice one of in Commander. And this could see some serious modern play depending on what the format shapes up to be, because the ability to phase out your opponent's creatures and planeswalkers can be a real big deal. Plus, if they're black, you just get to exile them instead. This could be a big sideboard card. So, moving right along. Next here we have the Skeleton Swarming, which is apparently a finisher. So for a black green, 3 colorless, we have an enchantment that says skeletons you control have haste. They attack each turn if able, and get +1 or +X+O, where X is the number of other skeletons you control. So that's pretty powerful in itself. But it also says at the beginning of your end step, create a tap 1/1 black skeleton creature token if a creature died this turn. Create 2 of those tokens instead. If a creature died this turn, create 2 instead. So from draft sealed standpoint, this is just going to be a powerhouse of a way to kill somebody. This could even be a thing in standard because once this gets on the field, if they can't deal with it, it's just going to run away with the game because you're just going to make 1/1 black dudes every turn. Well, first you'll make a 1/1 black skeleton, and then you'll make a 2/1 black skeleton because you have 2 of them, which means the other one's a 2/1. Then you'll make 3/3/1s and then 4/4/1s. And if they happen to block because they got to stay alive, then you're gonna make 2, which is gonna it just gets out of hand quick. Plus they have trample, so it's not like you can block them effectively. I think this is gonna be a powerhouse in standard and in draft/sealed. Commander guys are gonna love this thing for some shenanigans. But anywhere other than that, it's not gonna see play. 5 mana is probably way too much. So moving right along, and it's too slow. Next we have Eseric Rack, Lord of the Undead. So for a black and 2, you get a 5/5. It's a legendary creature, zombie wizard. When he enters the battlefield, if you didn't complete Tomb of Annihilation, you return him to your hand and venture into the dungeon. Very interesting. Whenever he attacks, for each opponent, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token unless the defending player sacrifices a creature. Very interesting. So this could easily be a strong standard card. It's going to be a very strong sealed card just for the mana cost because you can just venture in the dungeon over and over again until you can get him out. Um, Plus, Commander, this is going to be a thing. You're playing against 3 other people. You attack, the defending player has no creature to sacrifice. You get 3/2/2 black zombie tokens for one for each opponent. So, like, wow. Um, Seems very powerful. I don't think it's good enough to be playing in modern, even though 3 mana 5/5 would be nice. I think there's cheaper things and easier ways to get there without having to run through a dungeon. But in standard, draft, commander, this thing's gonna be a powerhouse. So next here we have the Nest of Hydra. So here's part of our land cycle for green. 2 or more lands. It comes into play tapped. Uh, Taps for a green. For a green and X, Nest of Hydra becomes an XX green Hydra creature token until end of turn. It's still a land, and of course X can't be 0. This is a powerhouse. This is an amazing way to sink your mana late game for a mono green deck, which means this is going to be a powerhouse in all the standard decks. Even draft, commander might like this. I don't think modern's going to like it because it's a single color um, creature land that only produces green. So I don't think it's going to be a modern thing. Plus, they don't have enough land to make this big enough to make it worthwhile. But standard, commander, draft, powerhouse in all of them. So it's going to be a good card. And then next here we have the Inferno of Star Mounts. So this mythic is 2 red and 4, the Red Dragon. It's a legendary creature. Can't be countered, has flying and haste, and it's a 6/6. So it's already on par for just oodles of goodness. For 1 red, it gets +1/+0, so it's basically a Shivan Dragon on crack. And when its power becomes 20, it deals 20 damage to any target. So this thing is going to be worth a fortune. Think about it, guys. This is going to be great in standard because for 6 mana, you get to swing for 6 automatically. Um, you could play it in a ramp deck. It's going to be good enough. In draft, this is just going to take the game over. In commander, if you get this on the field and you pump it 20 times, you literally can blow somebody off the table. This is going to be worth a lot of money no matter what. The price probably won't go down. So real powerhouse of a dragon, especially for dragon decks. So yeah, obviously it's not going to see any play anywhere else, but this is definitely a thing. Oh, did I also mention that persist is in modern, so maybe this is a thing? Ooh, disgusting. Anyway, guys, moving right along. So, all right, that is our last spoiler of the day. Thanks a lot for your time. I really do appreciate it. And as always, until next time, remember to be kind, head out to your local LGS, support your local store and business, and I'll hopefully see you across the game tables. Until then, guys, you take it easy. I'll talk to you later.